One dash three comma five comma 8 Mando Avenue, Vince Pagnoli. If you like to come up and kind of give us a background here, what you plan to do.
Vince, if you would assist me with the update. Yeah. You're gonna be like him and, this one, go ahead and see it when we do this. And we'll flash it around every once in a while so other people know what's going on too. We have to. I'll let you go sign anything. What we're here today for is to propose a subdivision of two existing lots. Those of you that have been in Portland for any length of time probably knew when it was the Commando Restaurant in the parking lot across from it and next to it. Well, the Commando no longer exists in this restaurant form anyways. And so Mr. Fragnoli came to me after talking also with the mayor and a mutual desire to develop lower and middle income properties to get people into houses. And this was one of the projects that Mr. Fragnoli thought was a prospect to do so. So our idea here, first and foremost, the blue is the Commando Restaurant property. And next to it was a small parking lot. They were one lot. And you can see there it's now proposed to be divided by two. Now on the colored image here, what those are the 10-foot buffer areas that are consolidated since Commando still is listed as a commercial building. Therefore, between residential and commercial activities, there needs to be a 10-foot buffer. We're merely trying to correct the wrongs of before, because in number 5, which Mr. Fragnoli also owns, the property line was right up against pretty much the end of the building. So we are planning to skim off 10 feet of the number 5 property, make that part of the property for former Commandos. And we're doing the same between the proposed residential lot and Commandos small parking area. We need at least 3 parking slots because there are currently tenants in the house part of Commandos behind the 1-story restaurant. So that's the first subdivision that we're talking about and lot adjustments. The second one is the single lot here right now that was listed as number 8, Commando. It is a fairly large lot. We are proposing to basically almost subdivide that into equal lots area wise with 2 similar type houses on it. Now you'll see that each one of them are a little bit different. And I'll be glad to give you also a copy of just a concept plan of what we're thinking about. And the idea that Mr. Fragnoli wants to build these so that they can be sold to clients. And so what it is, I say it's a modular design. I'm not anticipating that this is a bad design. The idea of the modularity is the fact that, as you can see with this as well, they'll look like 3 different size houses, but what it really is the basic house is approximately 900 square feet on each floor. And a breezeway and or a garage can be added based upon space and the client's ability to buy the house. And if the main house is put up without any garage at all, then it will be the owner's option and responsibility in the future once they buy the parcel to put on the breezeway and or the garage. So those are 3 different ways that Mr. Fragnoli is going to be able to sort of skew the price for the potential buyer. The house itself, as I say, is a very simple, straightforward 2-story, 900 square foot house with probably just 2 bedrooms and a bath on the second. It has a contemporary flair to it a little bit. That's what architects do. But you can see the area right here with a large window on the top is actually a one-story room that goes up to the second floor, and then there's bedrooms on each corner, and then there's a bathroom in the middle. So that is the proposal we have. And as you can see here, that because of the nature of this lot, we wanted to also push it back far enough. This triangular line here is the setback revisions area that is required on any tight turn like this in a residential area. So we wanted to make sure that we accommodated that requirement and to see what buildings can push back this way, so it's a little further back than the others. Now, the part of these houses that makes a little difference is the fact that the current zoning states basically a 25-foot setback from the inside of the sidewalk area, which would make a lot of these almost unbuildable. It also implies, though, that if you have an older residential area like this, that the existing primary elevation or the primary setback of the existing houses and determine what the setback needs to be, so that any new construction is consistent with the structures that were built before. Now, there's a lot of them that are actually only about 6 feet back from the sidewalk. That's not our intention to do so, so.
Like 10, we talking about 10 next door?
Here,
No, it's not setback. No, it's not.
the setback.
On one property to the right, so right to your left.
Yes,
That's
yes,
that's used. That setback is not full.
right. And so we're trying to push that back further. Now, this one shows basically we're abiding by the 10-foot setback that was already established by this house. This one is actually, I don't try to include any porches or sidewalks on the, or stairs in the front. I try to look at the main elevation and facet of the house that was there, so that you're actually talking about real construction. It's not our intent here to build any further back than about 14, 15 feet from the sidewalk. Now, one of the key things that you'll see here is that the current sidewalk sort of pushes out right here and does a curve around the corner. That may be on this one, yes. See it? My proposal is to straighten that sidewalk back out, yes. Straighten that sidewalk back out and also make it a wider bend around here so that the parking area just for commando can go on that corner. And it's a maximum 30-mile, probably should even be lower than that in the neighborhood as far as the speed limit goes. But I don't see that as a problem because it's an outside corner, everybody can see the cars coming. Let's see, all the other buildings along here have the sideline setback minimum 7, either 7 feet or greater than that. And Mr. Fragnoli is also talking about some relief for the lady in this house. That even negotiate a little bit additional land that we don't need for the house. So that she's happy.
Giving her extra property?
Well, she's been after a piece of that lot for, I said that. And so I said, I said, can you do the measurements and tell me where we are as far as footage for development? Because it's gonna, and we got about 2 extra feet. But, I mean, she's not here today, but I mean, it's a matter of life or death for her. Go 2 feet over. Yeah, I mean, she,
There will probably be either a hedgerow or a fence put up there.
well, we had a survey and she just, we shouted over to her than what she thought it was. If you can't move a property like it, it has to be done, if you take a couple feet, it's taxable property. You have to have your attorney.
And so
If, it's not just moved property. Somebody bought one of these houses, comes in, and does their own survey. They're gonna find out that her fence is on that property, and then there's gonna be a. Yeah, so that explains that, I guess, right?
Well, there's been some discussion that her intent is also to provide some sort of parking lot there for tenants. So as likely as history goes forward, that it's either gonna be a hedgerow or an actual solid fence between the new property and hers, so that they aren't just looking at cars out of the side window.
Mr. Chairman, can I suggest, so just a note for the public, what they're showing you, that material is available online as part of, the application. But it might be helpful to let the, folks here see those, and if they have any questions before the public hearing portion, just so that they've got the benefit of sharing those.
Yeah, why don't we, give them a chance to look at
Okay.
it?
Would it be okay then to turn this around?
Yeah, yeah.
So they have them open up any questions they may have, okay. Well, I do see some of the familiar faces here. Smiling this time, that's good. You just heard sort of the spiel on this about trying to create 3 lots for lower and middle income people to buy their own homes. This is not intended to be any kind of a lease arrangement where Mr. Fregno is gonna become a landlord here. Now,
Has fallen apart.
he's trying to be a good neighbor. One of the other aspects of this, that we've already been in some discussion with, Code Officer Everett, is that, we are looking to also clean up and improve the look of the front of a Commander restaurant,
Yeah.
so that it
I like this.
turns back more into a neighborhood as opposed to, you know, a commercial property that is sort of still placed now.
Fine.
Are you saying your property on an empty lot on the left end of going down Bartlett or on the right side also? So if you're gonna build both on both sides,
He's gonna build one right on the corner
okay,
where the railroad is. Okay?
that's just the right side.
Yeah.
There's not gonna be anything on the left hand way. Commander.
Could we hear the concerns?
Yeah, well, you know what, let's, we'll open this up formally for public hearing, just so that everybody can hear, if you'd like to come up and ask a question.
I've never done this.
It's okay.
Okay. I live on Bartlett. And the corner is a sharp corner. That's you need to.
We need to initiate a public hearing, so why don't we initiate the public hearing? And then people can come up one at a time and ask questions, so we really can't hear what you're asking, okay? And we're the ones that have to make the decision, so. Let's start the public hearing, if someone would like to come up and ask a question, come on up to the podium, okay? You might wanna, tell Mr. Jewett what your name is, so he can include it in the records.
Diana Dayfall. I live on Bartlett Ave,
Where do you live?
over the 82 Bartlett Ave. One of the biggest properties on the street.
82, so you're right on the corner of,
Not right in the middle towards the commando and
and that's the prospect, that's the old prospect,
I'm next to Tony,
that land, that Cadillac,
I don't know.
and next to Tony Giuliano.
Yeah.
I think it's
The Pantanella House.
Said I'm gonna nice and one.
Oh,
So really?
You know, from the other day.
We've been here for 3 years.
He bought down.
Maybe they're ready for you to re-ask the questions since they couldn't get it.
Yeah, we just didn't hear it, that's why I'd like to, just,
Oh, no, I've never done this, so I'm.
that's all right, well,
Okay. I guess my concern is, I wasn't sure where he was building the houses. So if you're going up Bartlett, you're doing it on the right hand side in that empty spot.
But you go up front of that and you get to the corner, and the restaurant's right in front of you. There's one on the right, and 2 on the left. Big lot is on the
Two on
left,
the empty lot right there.
yes, and one on the empty lot on the right.
Is there enough room on the left for 2?
Yeah. Subdivided, yes, it is.
I couldn't see those sitting back there.
And we have what they call the building requires that we also offer a, what they call a clear view area. That forces nothing, we can't put any shrubs or anything back there so that people can see other.
Well, that's what, yeah, because the corner is a little sharp corner.
It is a
You know,
sharp corner.
kids, when they run out, that's very dangerous. I mean, there's a lot of kids too on that street and. I don't know.
And they're running out, so we're concerned, but we are abiding by the zoning for that area.
Across the street from you.
Yeah, I know, and I mean, I have a granddaughter and believe me, with the way the cars go up and down that street,
I thought we were just talking about speed limit, I don't even know if they even address the speed limit on that street, it shouldn't be 30.
no, it should be like 15.
Right.
That's another,
I don't know how to do any of this kind of stuff, that's why I'm like,
so your concern is regarding this property now?
that I don't think there needs to be more people in this area. And Vince has people down there, he's got people behind Commandos that really shouldn't even be there. And that needs to get cleaned up,
That's not my property.
where all those people are,
You know that? I
Yeah.
don't know, that's what I own 8 feet from commando building out, 8 feet, that's it. That's all railroad. I think one of the. I think Patty here already addressed that with the mayor, they were down there, they walked out back, got rid of them out there, I don't know. That's all railroad. Railroad got all that. I don't want any of them.
because I need to dig a little bit more, I need time to do some research and to get some signatures.
Yeah, you do that. Can you do that?
That's a reasonable concern to be brought to the city, and also maybe asking the highway department if there's a way to get the speed bump down.
Yeah, that would be, I mean, so those are really like my concerns, and I'm not, you know, I just.
I think the people out back.
Mitch, if we can direct your questions to us, so are you concerned about unhoused folks in the area? Is that what you're talking about?
Well, that's one of them, because I was like, you know, maybe we should be cleaning up behind where all those people are, because it's very scary.
Yeah, that's something that's. They don't consider, they called, the order of the property back there, we said, okay.
We think that. I'm really gonna get involved, because when I have to lock my house up,
I mean, yeah,
it's scary.
I don't know what's going on behind you, that lot behind you, really, I know behind you, I don't see anybody out there, I think they're a little farther back than you think.
But they walk up and down the street all the time, and you never, I mean, it's very scary.
You know,
And I'm just thinking there, you know, if there's more people, then,
so I was trying to be those kind of people.
well, no, and I understand that, that's why I wanted to come and find out, because I don't, I mean, every now and then I see you driving up and down, and
I'm glad you
I,
did, I'm glad you did, you learned that I, don't know, that's not too bad.
well, the railroad does.
That's it. Well,
Yeah.
well, okay. Yeah,
Excuse us. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Chris. Whoever the question.
Well, we need to do the work of this committee here, so it was a private conversation.
I don't mean that, I don't, you know.
So I have a question. I'm just curious if the house in the one lot on the right, is there gonna need to be kind of fencing or security behind there? When the house goes up, is there proposed, I know there's a railroad track back there, but is there gonna be anything kind of a separation, a fence or something?
A buffer, it could be a landscape buffer, or it could be a fence. Ultimately,
Is that gonna be on the property owner or is it on,
I own the property, dude. I own
before you sell it? I mean, you're gonna sell the,
I'm gonna sell the one, and I own the white one that's right next to it. 96 Bartlett. So it's some kind of a buffer fence along the railroad and up that side, I'm sure.
You occupy 96?
No,
Looks like there's some trees, or something, looking at, as a buffer currently. Yes,
there is that sort of shrub trees, though, it's scrub trees, I should say, it's not anything that would create a long-term buffer, it's a visual buffer right now until fall comes and all the leaves drop.
so you intend to, some of them look like evergreens, but maybe not. And you intend to build a fence for your question?
some kind of a privacy fence, maybe a 10-footer running from that corner of 96 down. Where the entrance is, you go down to the railroad, sidewalk goes straight up to the railroad.
Got it. Okay. Do you have any other specific questions, Chris?
Not really, right now I can't think of any. But if I have another opportunity, I will definitely get involved.
Be sure that if you write your name and the address down, so that any future meetings, we can make sure we get to you,
Okay,
maybe email to.
Oh, no, not really technically. A little challenge.
Telephone.
Okay.
Would anyone else like to come up and ask questions? Yeah, come on up, and, sign in.
Inside.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
I signed you now when you so you have my address. And my name is Patricia Boots. I live on Stephen Street, which is in front of Commando, where we don't even have sidewalks. We have no sidewalks on either side of the street. And my property butts up against,
That, the rear.
the rear part of my property. And this might be for another meeting, but I heard you say that the mayor had said something about doing something in our ward. And I had talked to our alderperson last week when I found out about this meeting, because I didn't know about the first one, I didn't get a letter. And he said that the mayor was gonna do a walk through in our ward, because ours is the only one that hasn't been done, because I asked our alderperson why is it, but anything been done to improve our neighborhood? Like the rest of the city, we're like forgotten because personally, our older person doesn't come visit us either. So, but that's another whole ballgame. My concern or question is, if they're gonna beautify it, wouldn't the city, you know how like when you build the highways, like when like you go down to Binghamton and you see all those buffers along the highway? Is there a way they could put a buffer for that part of the railroad that goes up behind, because it's more than just your house and her house. That goes up, that's really right along the tracks, because I don't know if you've ever been down there when the train's going through. I mean, my house rattles, my chandeliers rattle and whatever, and it's noisy, they bang cars in the middle of the night, which I don't think they're supposed to do, but they do it. And there's a lot of screeching of brakes and stuff, and I just didn't know if the city would think about putting a buffer. One of those type of walls they put up along the highway to maybe help not only deaden the sound, but kind of beautify the area a little bit, if they're gonna work on improving the area. Because I understand wanting to put a house there, but I'm afraid nobody would buy it because it's so close to the tracks and it is so loud with the noise of the trains, and it's 24/7. There's no break. So, that's just something I would like you guys to consider. I'm not aware of the homeless problem that, you know, that these people are seeing. I do see a lot of people walking down the streets with shopping carts and stuff, and I don't know where they're going because they go, so I can see it from my windows, so. But if there is a problem back there, it would be nice if we could get that cleaned up. I know we had a problem on Bartlett. A couple houses there, the Larry Baker Road. That they took care of, that there were there, so maybe it's something the city needs to get back into there and get it taken care of.
Is that something we have control over, or that'd be more of a common council?
Yeah,
that's
question?
common council.
That's like a bigger,
Common
yeah,
council.
I mean, we're only addressing,
Okay,
you know, so
okay.
I mean, I
Okay, so
understand your
we're
concern.
not Planning, but could we think about getting a buffer wall there?
That would be a common council question.
That would be
yeah,
also a common
Yeah,
council?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
thank you.
If I might, as far as as far as the ward walks are concerned. They're only on Ward 5 right now,
Okay,
and that's not gonna happen till next week, so
okay.
they still gotta go through 6, 7, and you're in 8.
I'm in 8. My
So
own person said it was gonna be the first week in July.
I think they might be a little bit behind too.
Well, that's good, cause I will be there the first week.
I'm not saying they are, I'm just saying they're only on, and
Five right now.
well, their next week is 5, so.
Okay,
I know they're on their way and they're getting, they're getting a lot done with them, so they.
oh, I'm happy with the mayor. I think he's doing a good job. So,
Well, I think the homeless situation is common to many cities. But I think the people you see coming down there with shopping carts, that may be one of the new Uber programs.
The new one?
The new Uber program.
Oh.
So any more questions, actually? I know the code officer, Roy has grilled us pretty good over the last few meetings, and so we've tried to get all our ducks in a row, but we do appreciate commentary. I'm surprised you don't have anything. You've been there twice, and at least you're smiling when you're sitting there now.
Smiley last night.
Any other questions from the audience? No other questions or concerns? Corporation Council?
Yeah, just quickly, you know, the city's thrilled that Mr. Fragnoli's doing this project. We're a pro-housing community. We're in favor of increasing the housing stock. It's something that's desperately needed. However, one of the considerations the committee has to undertake is what's this gonna do to the neighborhood? What's the overall effect of it? And right now, Mr. Fragnoli is non-compliant on a lot of issues with the city. He's at a point where we could classify him as a habitual offender. We don't want to do that. We want to work with him to get things up to date. He has at least 12 rental properties in the city. His compliance rate on permitting is less than 20%. In light of that, I would recommend the committee table this for a month. His rental permit applications, which is one of the things he has out, he could have those resolved by the end of the week. It's simply coming in, filling out a paper, paying the fee and moving on. There may be some code things that are open. I don't have anything in front of me yet, but I know there's a number of things that are getting ready to go to court on some of his properties. Those need to be cleaned up, in my opinion, before he takes a step into a new venture. We want him to do this venture. We want him to move forward with it. It's a good project. I'm not saying it's not. But I feel as Corporation Counsel, one of my jobs is to prosecute code enforcement infractions. And to allow somebody to launch a new project when they have a lot of things on the fire just would be remiss, in my opinion.
Sure. Mr. Fragnoli, how do you feel about that?
You know, I was just telling my girl that does all my secretarial work, I just told her this morning, I got an email from Code.
Can you stand up? I can't really hear you.
I just got a pamphlet in the mail from Code and a bunch of rental permits that need to be renewed. I was just telling her this morning, you gotta go to Code this week and file all these. Submit checks, renew them, that's what they want,
Does she write your checks for you?
I'll submit the checks.
Oh, you,
She'll
oh, you
go-
will,
she'll
you'll
go
take care,
file.
okay, well, why don't you take care of that now? And then next month, if we decide to table this, everything will be taken care of.
Yeah,
That
by
sounds
the end
fair.
of the week, I said. to her,
Okay, let's do
I have
that
to go
then.
down.
You take care of your problems that you're having on your other properties, and then come back to us next month and we'll take a look at this. How's
Yeah,
that
that's
sound?
fine,
Is that all right?
yes.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna make a motion to table this till next month. Does anybody want to second that?
I think there's
Yeah.
one more public comment.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I thought we had
Sorry, Joe.
everybody. No, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Just put your name on there, yeah, so, Mr. Jewett can have a record.
My name is, pardon my voice with the allergies, my name is Marisa Di Tomasi. And I own the property at 35 Hyatt Street.
Okay,
There's very few of us Italians that are left, just 2 or 3. But I have great pride in my home. I travel a lot, but I make sure it's maintained. Now, this is nothing against Vince personally. I've known him since he was little. And I've seen our neighborhood go down. Many times I've seen Vince outside when he had the restaurant, and I'd say, who owns that house next door to the restaurant? And he'd say, I do, I'm trying to get it cleaned up. And I'm sorry, Vince, but I've never seen anything happen. Now, I know these are going to be sold if it goes ahead, it's not gonna be rental. And I'm all for helping homeless people or low income, but our neighborhood was that. You know, my grandfather worked at Wigwire when he came from Italy. My grandmother was at Crescent Corset. They built this house in 1926, and then it just went downhill with the things. But they pulled their bootstraps up. So I'm the 3rd generation there. I'm leaving it to my son. He would be the 4th generation. But sometimes I thought, if I'm not so emotionally attached to that house, I would want to sell. I'm ashamed when people that come to visit me out of town have to go down Bartlett. I'm ashamed. But I'm not against a new house being built. I just know that if it's sold to low income people, Are they going to start putting trash on their porch if there is a porch? Some people are using their porches as a storage area. It's an extension of their home. And I have a question for code. Is it permissible to store lawnmowers on porches? I don't know if that's a question that can be answered now. Now we're using porches to store lawnmowers. Well, you know, if they don't have a garage, they can put it in the back of their house. I'm thinking of fire issues. But again, I just don't mind new buildings. I'm just wondering if the neighborhood's gonna go down more. And I don't know of any other property that Mr. Fragnoli owns. But if I go by what I see there, and as far as the people in the back of the Commando restaurant, I see that a lot. And they're like abutting the side, so you don't know if they're living upstairs above the Commando restaurant. But you always see the grocery carts on the side if you go around the right time. And I don't know if they're living there, but you see that, you do see that a lot. I don't know anything about the railroad in the back. But I can attest to that, but it looks like they're living there, and I'm not saying they are, because they're always right at that side door. Where the door used to go into the restaurant where the bar is. And that's about it. But can I have an answer to that question about lawnmowers?
Call my office in the morning, it's not the time and place. for it.
Okay, I will.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to put you on the spot. I just didn't know if that was,
Right.
I'd be more than happy to answer your question, but I'll just give my office a call in the morning. I gave you my business card, right, when I was there? I got one here.
you gave me the pamphlet.
Thank you for bringing that to our
Yeah.
attention, Mr. Lewis.
Any other questions or concerns from the audience before we move forward? No questions? Okay, I honestly would like to table this, it's item 1 and 2 on our agenda till next month, once we have a chance to, you know, get everything caught up. Can anyone, or would anyone like to second it?
I'll second that.
All right, Jim. Any other further discussion? All right, all those in favor of tabling items 1 and 2 till next month, till July, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, so we'll look at that next month once we get things thought up, okay?
If there's anybody here who did not sign in, if you would be good enough to leave your name and mailing address and email address so that we can do our best to inform you of any future meetings.
All right, our next item on the agenda is site plan review for Capco at 236 Main Street. They want approval for repair of an access ramp. Is anyone here to speak on their behalf?
Capco, no.
No. I mean, it seemed pretty straightforward to me. It was just a,
Yeah, so they're just replacing that one,
the one ramp, right?
the one ramp in the front, and
It's not gonna be any bigger than the one.
no, it's not any bigger,
No,
and
doesn't change.
I mean, they might have to change it a little bit to meet the current code for,
Like elevation and stuff like that.
yeah, for
Okay.
incline and. Yeah, so they might have to change it a tad bit, but it won't be much.
Is there currently a ramp in front?
You see one or no?
I don't see.
But they're changing the railings, they're changing the look of it, so they're changing the facade of the building a little bit, you know, not much, but.
Just tweaking it, yeah.
Okay.
And they might have to, I hate to use the word elevations, and I'm drawing a blank on the word, but they might have to meet the current code for
Like
the ramps, they might have
incline.
to change it, yeah, incline,
Yeah,
that's
the
it.
incline,
Yeah, the incline has to meet
Yeah,
codes.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And they gotta put every certain feet with an incline, you have to have a landing,
Landing,
so they might have to,
Yeah, okay.
and the handrail's gonna be different.
But it's definitely gonna be an improvement.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause the other one was deteriorating.
Yeah.
I think that was a weird.
Really. All right, somebody want to make a motion to approve agenda item number 3, site plan review for the ramp for Catco?
I'll make that.
All right, Tony, second. Further discussion?
Sorry about that.
That's what, no, you guys are
Figure out the building.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
No further discussion.
No further discussion. Okay, all those in favor of approving, site plan review for Capco and their new ramp that will replace the old ramp at 236 Main. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? All right, motion carried. What's that? Okay.
Well, I was looking at the Capco building itself.
Oh, the building.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's still having you said.
Yeah, okay.
No, it's their
Yeah, it's itself there.
daycare,
Yeah.
Head Start.
You said.
Oh, so that should be 236 South Main, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
We might want to just correct that on the notes. Right?
Okay,
South Main doesn't always.
Oh, it doesn't exist?
It's all.
Oh, Main, okay, all right, I'm sorry, I didn't know that.
Depending on the.
No, it's all Maine, there's no South Maine.
Okay, all right, I stand corrected, my fault.
Fourth is still there. 'Cause the home is-
It's still normal, now it's just me.
Not just me, according to these guys. All right, agenda item number 4, these guys have been approved in the past, but we just said to make sure that we approve it again, if that's what you guys are so inclined to do. This is Keystone Novelties, they sell things for the 4th of July. The applicant seeks approval of special use permit and site plan for use of a portion of parking area for outdoor sales of sparkling devices. And like I said, this has been going on for years.
This is the PNC parking lot.
Yeah.
Excuse me, guys.
Hey, you might wanna talk into the speaker because I don't think this is gonna pick
I'm
up.
sorry.
I'm just letting you know.
I'm sorry, my fault.
Okay.
Yeah, so these guys have been here in the past to get their site plan approved for, it's a temporary, sales thing until the 4th of July. And then they close up shop and move on, so it's not a permanent thing. If you guys have been on the board, Jim, you've been on the board.
Oh, yeah.
Before, so this is something that's pretty straightforward.
Sorry.
And first of all, does anyone have questions about this? Somebody want to make a motion to approve the agenda item number 4 then?
I'll make a motion.
All right, Brendan, all right, somebody want to second it? Chris,
Second that.
all right, further discussion.
I didn't see it. Is the dates listed in here for how long they'll be there?
It's only allowed to be there till
Oh, there it is, 6/23 through the 7th. I just.
It's very short.
That's all I have questioning.
Yeah.
It's the same footprint that they do every year, or
Yeah.
Yep.
they're not gonna move it or
They're
anything?
not- no, they're
We're
good.
gonna look at it, yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
No, that was it. That's all my question
okay,
was.
no, that's good question. All right, all those in favor of agenda item number 4, say aye. Anyone opposed? All right, motion carried. Our 5th agenda item is from Paul Stewart at 2628 Elm Street. He seeks the site plan approval for construction of a parking area and relocation of a fence. Is Mr. Stewart here?
He's not here, I'll answer for him.
All right,
So Mr. Stewart wants to add a parking area in the front yard on Greenbush Street. That property has, although it's addressed at 26-28 Elm Street, it does have 2 front yards by definition, because it's on the corner of Elm and Greenbush.
okay,
The current parking driveway area is a shared easement with the house right behind it on Greenbush. And they're having some issues with that easement right now. So he wants to create his own 2 new parking spots. It is a 2-family, so he's allowed 6 max. I believe according to his drawings, he only wants to put 2 there. And he's gonna have to angle them in, because they can't be stacked.
right,
It's gotta be paved, can't be stacked. And he also can't use it, he's gotta do something to keep them from driving through, can't block the sidewalk, he's gotta create a new curb cut, you guys know all this stuff, but you gotta make all those stipulations.
stipulations in the requirement.
Yeah, and if you also look, I believe the county made some recommendations, or possibly gonna,
Would these be on Greenbush or no?
on Greenbush.
Greenbush, okay. That's it.
And whatever you guys do, it has to be,
I know the house, I'm just trying to figure out where the parking. So that's still, I don't know, it's considered out. This is.
This is
This is on this side. Okay, so those green goes this way.
Oh, okay, so somewhere in this area right there, because there's no space there. I was going this way.
That's what we want to do in here at the front.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of wondering where you put it, so if he's angling, yeah, basically have to take out that lawn area.
Let's take a look.
It's kind of tight.
Is there enough room for that, well, you know? Doesn't look like there's too much space for 3 parking places. But
Maybe
like,
two.
Two parking.
well, 2, I thought it
I'm
was.
trying to let it.
Still gonna be tight.
It's very tight, that corner, there's not a lot.
Yeah.
And if you have to not block, you got the stop sign in the corner.
Right, right.
And the walkway.
I'm not sure how it's gonna look.
I just screwed that up.
10 feet 4 inches, that's the whole side yard.
Yeah, it's very narrow.
Plan's not very well out.
It doesn't have a lot time that he shows a park.
No, I mean, I'm looking at this thing
It's just
too.
sort of yellow.
Showing the land, I can't figure out where you have it.
He started to draw him on his lot.
On the scale or
And it's, go back on there.
that Green Bush Street.
Yeah, and I think he needs better drawings for you guys.
Yeah, is there any way we could table this till next month, have him come back in here?
Yep.
I'm gonna make a motion that we table this one as well, like we did the other one.
Yeah, we need to see
Just
proposed.
a little more detail.
Better drawings.
It's, yeah, better drawings.
Yeah, I wanna go by the house in person too.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice looking
Yeah,
house.
I mean, I've got my.
So, I mean, honestly, the guy takes great care of the house, it's one of the nicest houses on the street.
He's fixed it up.
He's
but
fixed it
I
up,
just
but
don't know where, you know, it doesn't seem
I
like.
think
there's
that
a lot
probably
of room
bounced
for-
back and forth or
Right,
feel like it was always being painted every other year by somebody.
don't, yeah, yeah.
But I mean, I see his point, if you look at the one driveway on the side of the house,
Yeah.
it could potentially be difficult with
Well,
having,
it's very tight over there.
yeah.
Yes.
I don't know if this is better though, 10-foot side yard. There'd be virtually no buffer between the sidewalk and the driveway.
I don't disagree.
It's tough pulling out of there too on Green Bush.
Yeah, backing out of the green bush, that would be
Like,
dangerous,
it's a busy street,
not only
you
for
know?
traffic.
Oh, yeah, it's got the county office buildings in session, you got everybody going into those two.
That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, right there.
And you have the intersection and then. Yeah,
All right, well, let's see if we can get better drawings from him, between now and next month, and, ask him some of these questions, some of our concerns, you know, foot traffic in general, you know.
you mentioned there was no, maybe I missed what you said.
I think he wants,
According to the plan I'm seeing too, he still would need some of that easement to pull cars into that
yeah,
driveway.
but he wouldn't need, but right now, it's not, I mean, when you drive by it, I can't give it justice right now,
No.
there's no room there at all.
Right,
There's more.
and it looks like he's taking up the whole side yard and just, are you just gonna pull into the street and have?
I don't disagree with anything that you're saying, he looks like. Where is this?
I'm just trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, as it stands right now, I'd have to vote no, but I would like to give him a chance to come and tell us what his thoughts are, so that's just, I don't think it happened.
It looks like, I mean, according to what he's got here, yeah, it's the whole side yard is gonna be paved, and it looks like, looks like he's gonna use it as a drive-through, and I don't think.
Now it's using this space.
Well, again, I'd like to make a motion on the table it and give him a chance to come back and tell us what his thoughts.
Yeah, I think he needs to be here, for sure.
Yeah, we just can't approve this with what we've got.
Agree 100%.
Okay, so can somebody second my motion?
Yeah,
to
just
table?
second that.
Rather than here, okay, any further discussion? All right, all those in favor of tabling agenda item number 5 till next month, say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? All right, motion carries. Our sixth and final agenda item.
This is an extension.
Oh, that's-
An extension. You previously approved the site.
Right,
plan.
he just needs more time because of state funding approval, right? He hasn't gotten state, funding approval.
So we'd like to get that extended for another year.
All right, first of all, does everybody understand what we're looking for, what he's looking for? He just needs a 1 more year extension. I don't think it's really gonna change too much.
Are we coming up on the last?
This is this would be over, well, it would be extending a year from today's date is what it would do.
Yeah, I'm not sure, I'm familiar with the.
It's, you know where Hyde's Diner used to be there?
Yes.
Or he's
Where-
taking that building behind there.
Oh, I know, we did talk about this.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
It's,
So it's a Gillette skirt factory.
Yeah.
right,
Okay.
right,
Project, it's gonna change it into a multi-unit
right,
Okay.
residential housing.
right, he just needs more time.
He's already tore down the 2 houses in the front.
Right,
Um,
right.
from what I understand, like he said, he ran into some issues with the state funding for that project, and now it's on track again, so.
Okay.
In talking with Mr. Beckwith and Mr. Calabro about this project, they believe a year extension would right into what they need, they'll be well underway in that.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I wasn't familiar with it.
Alright, so the motions on the floor for a table, so, or not table, I'm sorry, to approve it. 1 year from today's date, so we could run out on June 2nd, 2026. Did somebody motion that? I can't remember.
I'm in.
Alright, so Brendan motioned it for a second. Further discussion? Alright, all those in favor of giving him 1 more year, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Alright, motion carried. The last item on our meeting tonight is to approve the minutes from the previous month. It would have been the minutes from the May meeting. Did everybody have a chance to look at those?
You know, what's beautiful, we don't have that.
Was there any questions, concerns, you could tell? Okay, so you can understand, go. Uh-oh.
I read it over, I didn't see anything. It wasn't.
Controversial or
Yeah,
anything.
yeah, it's straightforward.
We do need 4 votes to get it.
If Danny says we can vote.
Chris, there's no more here, okay.
Looks fine to me.
Alright, all those in favor of approving the May minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Alright, motion carried. Our next meeting will be in July. I'll give you the date, if I can find it.
I think it was,
It's usually the first Monday. I'm just checking to see if it falls on a holiday.
Seven.
I think it was the week after, I think this one.
We get-
Oh, so it'd be May or July 8th, 7th, right?
I think,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
so it's
pretty sure it's
June
July.
30th.
alright, so, yeah, that's true. July.
Seven.
July 7th.
July 7th will be the next meeting for the planning commission. Just mark that on your calendar. We'll get it.
Okay.
Alright, good meeting, you guys. See you next one.